Hello, welcome again to Brookings and Jackrabbit Football on Midco Sports. Another beautiful day in the Missouri Valley Football Conference with South Dakota State University getting set to take on Western Illinois. And welcome inside Dana J. Dykoff Stadium. Tom Neiman along with Curtis Riggs. Great to have you with us here. It is a San Diego weather kind of day again here. And the Jacks 3-1 right now. Big win last week at Missouri State, first of all, to start Valley play for SDSU.
Well, I don't think it's remiss to say that people were surprised by that. I think people expected SDSU, who really battling the injuries, to go into a tough environment and maybe come out with a close game, but maybe not get a win. And I think they shocked everyone and showed everyone they are one of those top 5 teams in the nation. Defense
was a big part of that. The Jacks shut out the Bears in the first half, and 2 interceptions in that game for South Dakota State. One by Herder here inside the 10-yard line that he takes back for 70 yards. That set up an SDSU touchdown in the third quarter, and then a Matthew Durant's late interception as well, but the Jacks with a couple of takeaways.
And the defense is going to be the catalyst for them. It's going to establish a run game, field position, play action, everything. If you can feast off of turnovers, you're in a good position.
Jacks got the 2 picks there. Here's the last one by Durant, and it closed out a 28-14 win for South Dakota State to get them to 3-1 overall. And how about this as well? Through the first 4 games, South Dakota State has held Iowa, UC Davis, Butler, and Missouri State under 100 yards. That's the longest streak in Division I for the Jacks in the FCS, and that goes back 15 years.
But it's what you always say. If you can make a team one-dimensional, you're in a good position, and you're going to create turnovers off of them having to pass the ball.
Western Illinois comes in at averaging 97 yards on the ground, and we will see what they can do today here on the road. Western Illinois and South Dakota State will kick it off when we come back. This afternoon with South Dakota State hosting Western Illinois early on in the Valley season. Jackrabbits at 3-1 overall, 1-0 in the Valley, and Western Illinois comes in at 0-4 and took a loss against Northern Iowa last week to get Valley play started. Myers Hendrickson is the new head coach, first season at Western Illinois. He played for the Leathernecks back in 2011, was a wide receiver on their 2010 playoff team, but former Northern State University offensive coordinator. And he is opposite John Stegelmeyer, the Papa, the dean of the Missouri Valley coaches.
He really is. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. The longevity, how he just keeps going, and the resume of what they've put together with when they move to the FCS level. I mean, it's truly astonishing.
Jacks a national championship game appearance in that spring season, in the 2021 season. And then back to the semis last year. Western Illinois 2-9 last year. They had wins against Youngstown and Illinois State, but it's been a while since the Leathernecks tasted the playoffs. They were in 2017, as a matter of fact. 8 wins that year, but just 1 win in 2019 for Western Illinois, and then 2-9 last year. And Myers Hendrickson takes over this year as the head coach. South Dakota State won the toss, deferred to the second half, and Western Illinois will receive here, and Jack Green in to handle the kickoff duties here on the opening kick for South Dakota State. It'll be touched back. And Western Illinois, and first of all, Curtis, we're going to see who comes out here at quarterback for Western Illinois.
Yeah, they have 3 of them, and there's a good chance we'll see all of them. It looks like maybe Bruno's going to be the first up. But when you don't have confidence, or they all have different skill sets, and you really don't have an identity yet offensively, you continue to play them to see who's going to be the guy that takes over.
It will be Bruno, a junior who started last week against UNI, but Henry Ogala made the first 2 starts of the season. Nick Davenport started the 3rd game, and now Bruno for his 2nd start in a row against this Jackrabbit defense. And a little hitch and a go on first down, and down this sideline, hucking it up, but was he inbounds? And he made the catch, but just out is Jafar Armstrong. And he made a great grab, but he was dragging just on the chalk.
Yeah, it was a nice call. I mean, it's one he just throws up, though, because he's getting hit right as he lets it go. And you only have 1 foot in college, but it looks like he was sliding out as he went.
Reese Winkleman, big 97 in there on the pressure for the Jackrabbits. 2nd and 10 now. And Western Illinois with The one back set and the give to Jalen Reed. Jack's chasing him down the sideline. And there is Jason Freeman in his first year at South Dakota State, number 11, the linebacker coming over to make the stop.
An excellent pursuit. In Freeman's pursuit, he gets there in a hurry to make the open field tackle.
Starters for Western Illinois, presented by Dakota Bank. And number 18 is the man to watch. Nassim Brantley comes in with 21 catches, 5 touchdowns on this season already in the first 4 games for Western Illinois. But it's 3rd and 10 for Clay Bruno and the Leathernecks. Ludovic Choquette is the running back, and they will give it to him on a little delay. Gets across the 25 and a couple of yards, but Jack's bringing him down, gain of 3, and it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, a safe call, 3rd and long. They don't want to put themselves in a jeopardizing situation, turn the ball over possibly, play a little bit of field position here. We went for the home run on 1st down, didn't get it, tried to run it at 2nd down. Let's be safe here on 3rd down.
Western Illinois trying to break loose here in this first quarter. They've only scored 3 points in the 4 games in the first quarter so far this season. So Jack Bilkey will come on to punt it away. Tyler Feldkamp going to come up, get a catch at least on the receive, and it's brought down at his own 47-yard line.
A tough one to catch too. I mean, that ball hung up in the wind and looked like a knuckleball coming at him there.
Jason Heller on the stop for Western Illinois. The Jacks will have it at the 48-yard line. The wind's blowing a little bit. It is very nice. It's 73 degrees, but the wind's blowing about 15 miles an hour here from the south to the north, behind the back of the Jackrabbits and Mark Gronowski, who brings them out. Big performance, 4 touchdowns last week in the win over Missouri State for Gronowski. And the Jacks go with a 2-back set here. Isaiah Davis and Amar Johnson both in there. First snap is a direct to Isaiah Davis, and he plows ahead for about 5 yards.
Well, and they offset Gronowski over to essentially like a running back spot, and he's able to give the cadence still, allow Davis to then just be able to catch and run.
Dakota Bank starters for the Jacks. Davis with the first carry there. Zach Hines had 7 catches and a touchdown last week in a big performance. Gus Miller, the center, the man from Brookings here, anchors that offensive line for SDSU. Gain of 4 on 1st down, and Davis back in the backfield alongside Gronowski. Shift over again, and the snap fake to Gronowski, and Davis, a little slot run right down the middle of the field, still going inside the 30, and he's dragged down at about the 22-yard line.
Yeah, great play concept. Gronowski is 100% a decoy, but teams will still have their read keys. They'll still react and step to that motion, and that allows Davis to have a great lane to just get through.
Great block by Zach Hines. You saw there to spring Davis loose, and he is down to the 22-yard line of Western Illinois. SDSU, the running, still looking for their first rushing touchdown of this season. Gronowski's got 3, but Davis and Johnson and company looking for their first touchdown on the ground. Back to Davis again, and he is dragged down by Jake Dedevo.
Well, you definitely get the sense, even with the wind at their back here, it doesn't matter. Heavy presence of establishing a run game here.
Dedevo with that first tackle. Cam Washington goes about 315 pounds in this 3-man front for Western Illinois. But the Leathernecks come into this game giving up 43 points a game through the first 4. Again, Davis 4 yards on 1st down. Jackson Yonke in that sweep motion. Back to Davis. Mason McCormick out lead blocking this time. Davis spinning. Stays on his feet. Got to about the 12-yard line. It looks like just shy of a 1st down, and now a flag flying as McCormick got tied up with a Western Illinois defender over there on the far sideline.
And what happens is McCormick blocks his guy clear out of bounds, and the guy doesn't appreciate going through the case, sponsorship sign there, and he shoves McCormick, and he shoves him right into the official. So everything worked out badly. You got destroyed, getting blocked out of bounds, and then you retaliate and you push him right into the official.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 38. That penalty is half the distance from the end of the run. It's an automatic 1st down. It's number 38's first unsporting penalty of the game.
And yes, the flag on top. TJ Limehouse with the penalty. McCormick, he's that guy.
Yeah, a great story. I saw McCormick in Watertown his junior year. He blocked a guy through the opposing team's bench area all the way to the bench, and then just turned around, jogged back to the huddle. But when in between the whistles, I mean, he's sending a message.
He's the your guys love and everybody else hates.
Yeah. Yep.
So after the penalty, Jack's first and goal from the 6-yard line, opening drive. Yankee again, that sweep motion. Davis blocked from Hines on the outside. He's brought down at about the 2-yard line. Braylon Brooks on the tackle for Western Illinois.
Well, it's a heavy dose of David. I mean, you hope they give him the ball here because it's been all him so far, and he's just taken over. The offensive line is really sending a message. Again, McCormick was able to pull and just collapse that edge for Davis.
This stays on. Reagan Bolwig comes in as an extra tight end here for the Jacks. Kevin Brenner, 44, one of the defensive ends, is also in there as the third tight end in this set. And they go power to that side behind Brenner, and Hines and Davis in for his first touchdown on the ground this season.
That's incredible. I mean, the first rushing touchdown. But you could see that was definitely what they wanted to get done here. Your scripted plays, when you're saying run, 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 it's, hey, guys, we got to establish we're better when we're able to control the trenches. It'll open everything up for us.
Hunter Dustman on to try the PAT. Man from Minnesota knocks that through. Davis carrying the low. Jacks on their first drive with the Davis touchdown, 7-0.
Farmers Union Insurance, simply different.
Welcome back. South Dakota State goes not length of the field. They go 52 yards on that opening drive. 46 of those on the ground for Isaiah Davis. 6 runs, no passes. And Davis with the rushing touchdown, and it's 7-0 South Dakota State. Early on in the Missouri Valley Conference season, 8-game season, and this is just game 2. But South Dakota State trying to build here with USD in here next Saturday. And the Jacks are at North Dakota State coming up 2 weeks from today. Jack Green again on with a little squib into the corner, and this will draw a penalty and set up Western Illinois.
Free kick out of bounds
for their second drive, but
the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. It's first down.
Green handling the kickoffs today. Hunter Dustman in there for the extra point and presumably for the field goal kicking this afternoon. Western Illinois second drive. They picked up 3 yards on that opening drive. They'll start here from the 35. And Clay Bruno at quarterback to bring him back out.
Well, on first play, they tried to do they faked a screen and tried to go a home run. You send a message to your players and you go for those home runs first play and they don't work.
Room outside, 10 yards plus, about 3 more on the sprint to the outside by Jalen Reed. And this is a little guy. He's 5'6", all kinds of speed, but you can kind of see how he gets lost behind that big offensive line. And this was kind of one of the concerns for the Jacks, was keeping him tracked down.
And he's a guy you want in space. I mean, you want to get him in space, so he's going to make people miss, and he's going to get to his spots in a hurry.
First down on first down for the Leathernecks. And here's Brantley, the big-time receiver so far this season, makes a move. He's got another first down on the catch and run, and they get 13 on this grab by Brantley.
The biggest key is he makes a defender miss right away. It goes from a 4-yard gain to 12-yard gain in first down.
Winkleman back in there as a starter for the Jacks, presented by Dakota Bank. Caleb Sanders Freeman Bach and Dayton McGoy. Isaiah Stallbird is back this week, and we'll see him a little bit of safety, a little bit of linebacker as he returns from injury. Another big hitter to the outside, and 13 more, the third 13-yard play on this drive for Western Illinois. Jay Parker with the grab this time.
Yeah, nice job by Bruno. Goes through his reads and finds his receiver open in the flats, gets it to him in a hurry for a nice game.
Check that, Jalen Jackson with the catch and run. All the way down to the 27-yard line. Quickly go the Leathernecks. Bruno, another little quick hitter. Out to Reed. Breaks a tackle inside the 20, knocked out around the 15, 16-yard line.
Well, and Armstrong, Jafar Armstrong, number 9 for Western Illinois. A great job blocking. I mean, he takes Malik Lofton to the sideline and creates a huge lane.
Cale Reeder came over a little bit late, and then Adam Bach knocks him out. But another first down on the drive for Western Illinois at the Jackrabbit 15-yard line. Reed stays in there behind Bruno. Brantley out here, split right against Malik Lofton. Jack White, tight end, switches over to the right side. Bruno going to try to follow him, and this time SDSU stacks it up. Maybe a gain of 1. The ball came loose right at the end of the play. And there might not have been a whistle in there, and the indication is SDSU football on the recovery. Max Balloon comes up off the bottom of the pile.
Well, and Bruno just, he looks like he's just not even comfortable running. Looks like he's on top of defenders. So
Dayton McGoy, I believe, will get the recovery. He and Graham Spalding and Balloon were all there. So a very promising drive for Western Illinois. They picked up 4 first downs and then turn it over at the SDSU 12-yard line.
The previous play is under further review. The ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by the defense.
yeah, the hard part's going to be, can they determine if the knee was down or not? It looks like he was on top of other players. What they were doing offensively, they were making things look easy, and then all of a sudden, let's let Bruno run, and just not a strong sense of urgency as he's running here. Definitely nothing that you see that overturned.
Yeah, big pile of bodies. Quentin Hicks was in there for the Jacks. Caden Johnson kind of got the first hit, and then the ball kind of sorted up, but could not see. Bruno was on the ground, and we get the call.
Review. Ruling on the field stands as called. First down, South Dakota State.
Yeah, it's such a helpless feeling for Hendrickson. He's standing over there watching it on the replay himself, thinking some way, let's find some way, but there's just nothing. So you're like, come on, let's just get this going here. Do we have to stand here and go through this torture?
First turnover goes the Jackrabbits' way, and Granowski brings him back out from their own 12-yard line. Again, they did not throw the ball on that first drive. 6 runs by Isaiah Davis as Amar Johnson checks in a running back. Fake to him. Granowski, long throw all the way across the field, and a sitting catch made by Jackson Yonke.
Boy, it seemed like that ball was in the air forever. He had his flat route wide open, but there was a good window to Yonke, and he's able to put it in there to where only he has to try an attempt to catch it.
Jackson Yonke comes into the game 9th all-time in career receptions for the Jacks, and he is 8th all-time in receiving yards. And enough for a first down, and the Jacks move it out to the 27-yard line. Amar Johnson wrapped up right away by the Leathernecks.
Amar Johnson reminds you a lot of Jalen Reed for Western Illinois, just a smaller, more explosive back.
Another guy that's been fighting an injury for the Jacks, got some ankle issues into this game, but gain of a couple. Isaiah Davis checks back in. Corners drop off, and Gronowski looks that way as Jackson Yonke makes a move inside. And he's got a first down out to the 39-yard line. Second catch on the drive here for Jackson Yonke.
It's usually not the place you want to turn back into is the middle, but he sets it up so well that he's got enough time to be able to get down before all the pursuit gets there too. It's one of the things I think Gronowski does very well is the quick pass, just catch, throw. I think it's always a confidence builder for quarterback too when you're able to get a rhythm early and get those easy completions.
Jackson moved it already from their own 12-yard line after the turnover. And back to that two-back outfield. Isaiah Davis pitches back to Gronowski, and he's looking for somebody. He's got Jaden Yonke streaking way down the sideline and finally uncorks it. And Yonke can't come back for it. And that play took about 10 seconds before he let loose.
Yeah, and Gronowski's the one that makes a mistake because Jaden has his guy beat, but Gronowski's not quite sure. He hesitates to throw. So right here, he has Yonke where he could lead him across the field. Well, now he holds it. And then it's like, they probably should have got a holding call there too. Don't throw up the 500 ball, though. Just throw that out of bounds and live to see another day here.
Jacks went two back again. Josh Burrai was in there. They made the fake to him. The snap to Davis. Back to Gronowski. So after all that, just 2nd and 10. And back to the ground with Isaiah Davis slipping across that right side. Cuts back, gets to the 45-yard line. In the 44, and it'll be 3rd and 4 from there.
You know, it's funny, a play like that, you spend all week building everything up, practicing, and all the excitement in practice, and then you run into the game and you're like, oh. Yeah.
The Leathernecks were not fooled. So 3rd and about 4 here, and Jacks will go 4 receivers. Hines and Devin Cole up to the right side. Yankees to the left. Gronowski with team again, and catch made by A.J. Coons. That is his first career reception.
And great job by Gronowski throwing as Coons is at his break. You look, he's in rhythm, throws, great pocket. I mean, 0 pressure in his face. It's like 7-on-7 for him right there. But a nice throw, nice route by Coons. Coons brings another bigger frame, nice size receiver.
Another guy from Solon, Iowa, home of Adam Bach, home to a lot of good football players. And Coons, at 6'4", makes the grab. First down. Jacks on the move again inside the 40-yard line of Western Illinois. Back to Davis. Leathernecks there to meet him this time after a short game. Hanging on from behind there, Garrett Steffen, one of the defensive linemen.
The first drive of the game, they came out all run. Now you can see they're doing a little better job, a little more mixing it up here. Run, pass, back, trick play even.
Just 2 on that last run by Davis. Yonke joins Hines and Yonke on the other side, and they throw it to him on. Still going. He's inside the 30 down to about the 25, and Jackson Yonke has been the target on this time down the field for South Dakota State. 3rd catch.
Yeah, and his brother Jaden gives him a good block. His brother Jaden goes from blocking the corner as he sees a safety attacking in the alley. He comes off of the corner and gets that safety and allows Jackson to go one-on-one with the corner, who he continues to drag, I think, even now still.
First down at the 25-yard line of Western Illinois. Gronowski 4 of 5 passing on this drive. McCormick and Hines leading the way for Burrai this time, and Josh Burrai bangs it ahead for about 3 yards.
You want to talk about life of an offensive lineman. I mean, you watch Mason McCormick here pull and the collision, but then watch him drive. Number 6 right here, boom! And then watch him drive and finish. Oh, there's no better feeling than that right there. You get that collision, you're like, oh, this isn't awesome. Then you get him and you're like, yeah, I like this.
Mason McCormick in his 5th year out of Sioux Falls belt. Jackson again with Angel Johnson and Isaiah Davis. This time give to Johnson, out to the outside for the speedster. Steps inside and gets inside the 10-yard line. Knocked down by Bryce Cross, but it's going to be 1st and goal for the Jacks.
Yeah, he needs to keep his path flatter, though. See how he starts working downhill? He needs to stay flatter. And then right here, he comes in for that purpose, to make that guy miss right there. His job is to make people miss in space. I mean, well-designed play. Angel, we just want to see that right there where you make him miss and score a touchdown. Think of him and Chase Mason playing 9-man football together. That just blows me away.
Yes, Vibert Hurley. Jackson Yonke with the motion. Isaiah Davis trying to get to the outside, and he is wrapped up around the ankles. And again, that is Garrett Steffen on the stop for Western Illinois. Lost about a yard.
Yeah, I would think that Western probably has to go with 3-man front. You know, it's probably tough to recruit a lot of all defensive linemen with as many schools as there are in Illinois, and especially when you've been having some rough years, you got to go with what you have. So the 3D linemen, you can recruit a lot of linebackers and safeties, and build your base around that.
2nd and goal now. 3 receivers to the right, including Canyon Bauer, and they go into the corner to Bauer, and he could not make the catch. And that was a really good throw into a tough window, but Braylon Bucks defensively for Western Illinois.
You know, you and I had a perfect shot, and it's like, don't throw that one. And perfect throw. I mean, he puts it. Oh, Bauer, you got to make that one. That's right on the hands there. That's one he'd love to have back.
We have a story coming up at halftime on Canyon Bauer, talking about getting his first receiving touchdown. Yeah, he should have had one there. So 3rd and goal now. Bauer back in the slot left this time. Zach Hines to the right. Gronowski looking left the entire time here, trying to fit it again to Canyon Bauer. Double coverage this time, and
yeah, and
Leathernecks knock it away.
And this one's Gronowski's fault here. He locks in on Bauer. He's like, I'm going to get it to him. He even tries to bait the corner, but he's got Jaden Yonke sitting in the flats, wide open right there, number 10. That's where he should be going with the ball. You know, it's called a smash concept, and your key's that corner. Gronowski, though, was trying to bait him, like get him out there, get him back. Sometimes you just got to take what they give.
Jake Dedevo was in there with the quarterback pressure for Western Illinois. So the Jacks had 1st and goal at the 8. And now they're going to try a short field goal by Dustman and get 3 points out of it. And less than a minute to go here in the opening quarter. South Dakota State leads at 10-0.
Presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the exclusive orthopedic and sports medicine provider of the Jackrabbits.
(10-0) South Dakota State on the Agtegra scoreboard. Last minute of the opening quarter here in Brookings. And after the fumble recovery by Dayton McGoy, Jacks march at 80 yards, but end up with a field goal after 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Jack Green again to kick it away for South Dakota State. Jay Parker, one of the kick return men back there for Western Illinois, and Green's been kind of angling toward that corner. See if he keeps this one in play. Chance for Parker just inside his own goal line. And Jacks will stop him at about the 16, and we'll take another quick 53 seconds to go, opening quarter. Welcome back. These stats perform FCS poll. Bison a unanimous #1 still. The only loss there, that road game at Arizona for North Dakota State. Winning the Jacks and Montana State out of the Big Sky.
Yeah, and I think Montana was second. I think with the Jacks win over Missouri State, though, bumped them up. I think there's always going to be that toggling around between those top four. Who they play, and obviously the SDSU NDSU game coming up. Montana State will come up at some point.
All right, from their own 16, Leathernecks started again with Jalen Reed on the carry. Got about 1 yard on that left side.
Yeah, that's the issue with Jalen Reed, though. He's 5'6", 158 pounds. I mean, it doesn't take much to get him down. You get a hand on him, you're probably going to pull him down. It's just that's the task. Getting a hand on him is difficult.
Bruno stays on at QB. A little quick throw on second down. Catch made for a gain of about 5. Dyshawn Gales defensively for the Jackrabbits. Catch made by Jafar Armstrong.
You know, Armstrong's built like a tight end. He's 6'1", 220. Then you got Brantley, 6'4", 200. Bigger body receivers. It's kind of the norm, it seems like, with a lot of these Missouri teams now.
That's the end of the first quarter.
End of the first. Western Illinois will have it 3rd and 5 when we come back. South Dakota State. Isaiah Davis touchdown run and a Hunter Dustman field goal in the opening quarter. 10-0 South Dakota State going to the second. With some chatter early on in the season about Mark Gronowski. Could he get back to where he was as a fantastic freshman? And he was so good last week at Missouri State, 22 of 29, and the 4 touchdowns. Found both Yankees. Zach Hines had a touchdown catch. He was really, really good. Missouri Valley Offensive Player of the Week for that performance.
One of the things I saw was protection was really good too, though. And I think, you know, you find as a coach, the quarterback gets all the glory. When you play well up front, everyone else is going to benefit from it.
Jacks have kind of figured out that offensive line. We'll talk about that more when they get the football back here. But 3rd down for the Leathernecks. Open the second quarter. Bruno got some space, made a nice move, and he gets the first down out to about the 29-yard line.
Ooh, he's got a scary running style. He runs very straight up and down. I'm not sure if it was a pass or a design run, but you see how he just elevates straight up. That's almost like a bullseye for defenders.
Leathernecks, since that opening drive, have been able to move the football, but not this time. Twisting and not able to get any traction or any yardage. Aaron Collins, the running back this time. And about 4 Jacks bounced off him before they made the stop. Caleb Sanders there first, and then Freeman got a little hit. And a loss of 5 as Adam Bach goes off. 2nd and 16. Collins stays on as the running back. Brantley down here, split left, matched up with Dyshawn Gales. Gales backs off a little bit, and they go to Brantley, but going to be a short gain out to about the 32-yard line.
Still, he has such good size, gives you a good frame to throw to.
Gets Western Illinois back to 3rd and 7. Couple of catches already for Brantley, who came into the game with 21 grabs, 5 touchdowns, 3 of those in the opener against UT Martin. Bruno on 3rd and medium and over the middle. There's Brantley again. He got in front of Dyshawn Gales, still going. He got in front of Lofton, and then Gales finally brings him down, but he's all the way inside the 4-yard line of South Dakota State.
Yeah, it's a nice play concept. They drive the 2 interior receivers vertically and just bring Brantley underneath them. It's almost like what's called a Dover route, a deep over. I mean, coaches make it so complicated with their terminology, right?
I like that.
But he's such a nice target to throw to. The protection was really good. Bruno was able to step up in the pocket and make the throw.
30 yards on that play. Clay Bruno now 6 of 7 through the air. Hicks coming from behind, but he delivered. And the catch is made inside the SDSU 20-yard line.
I think everyone here was watching Quentin Hicks as he got to Bruno, right as Bruno threw it, and just gasped, thinking what that collision was going to be like.
Jack White made the catch, though. And the Leathernecks moving it quickly again inside the SDSU 20-yard line. Bruno was searching and then just threw it out of bounds. Dallas Beanham over in coverage for the Jackrabbits.
Yeah, and a good decision by Bruno. I mean, excellent coverage. You kind of have that internal clock as you're floating. You got to think 1, 2 reads. All right, I got to get rid of it.
Beanham and Stephen Arell, the backup corners in. For the Jacks, Western Illinois, with receivers spread all over the field. Brantley in the slot right. Bruno comes back, looks that way, tried to go underneath to the running back Collins, and it's off his hands, and it's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, he's got to give Brantley a chance down the middle of the field there. Your big star receiver, give him a chance one-on-one there. But they were trying to go, it's just a running back circle route. They clear vertically with everyone and then bring that back underneath, matched up against the linebackers. And the linebackers for State, they vacated. They got out of there, so it was open.
Third and 10. Brantley out here to the left. Bruno spins, looking into the corner. They got Brantley bracketed, though, and he gets a hand on it. Bruno again pressured by Quentin Hicks.
Yeah, and Brantley is gassed. You just watch him coming off the field now. He is tired. But this is a route they try to sell the post. State does a great job sitting outside on him. Really good coverage. Nowhere to go with the ball there.
All right, Mason Laramie on for a 35-yard field goal attempt. Slides it through. Western Illinois points on the board here early in the second quarter. Long drive. Laramie field goal good. 10-3 South Dakota State. Next Saturday, 1:30 Central Time for the pregame show. 2 o'clock kickoff with South Dakota and South Dakota State. Midco Sports streaming on Midco Sports Plus. The Coyotes with the miracle win in the Dakota Dome last year to beat SDSU. The Coyotes have won the last 2 matchups there, and game coming up next Saturday here in Brookings.
There's no way you can tell me that they don't remember that. I'm going to focus on this year. It's all about this. That's bull. You remember that one.
Tyler Feldkamp going to come up, get a return from the 6-yard line. Across the 20, trying to make a move, knocked down about the 23. Aiden Harrison on the stop there for Western Illinois. Sun's out again. Breeze blowing pretty good, and it is in the face of the Jacks here in the second quarter now.
You almost feel somewhat fortunate, though, that it's only 10-3. I mean, Western Illinois has really started to figure some things out and move the ball effectively offensively. They drove down, they had a fumble, then they drive down again and have to resort to a field goal.
Total yards almost even, 122 for Western Illinois, 125 for SDSU. Gronowski on first down, long throw, and that hung up in the air. And coming over to take a look for Western Illinois was Jalen McKee.
Yeah, and this is when you try to throw from hash to hash and you're throwing an out route, that ball better be gone before Yankee even gets out of his break, because that is a long throw that just about any corner is going to be athletic enough to try to undercut that.
McKee got both hands on it. And the Jacks will kick again as Yankee and McKee go left.
charge timeout. South Dakota State is their first.
Jacks timeout, trying to get some offense rolling here again. 11:40 to go before halftime. And the Jackrabbits meeting for the 18th time today. And the Jacks have won 11 of the last 12, including last year in Macomb, 41-17 in that one. Pierre Strong, a big day on the ground last year for South Dakota State. SDSU, though, trying to get things running again here offensively. Went right down the field on the opening drive behind 6 runs from Isaiah Davis to score, but got inside the 10 again on their last drive, settled for a field goal, and now 2nd and 10 for Gronowski. Give to Davis. Room outside. He's got the 30, leaps a man, gets the 35, and then pushed out about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, his feet look fantastic today. I mean, he just seems like he's just running at a different gear. You know, when you're those stronger backs, those big thighs, people will often try to come low at you. So you can see he's had enough of that. I'm just going to jump over these guys so they don't chop out my legs.
Yeah, like Gronowski, fans waiting for Isaiah Davis to kind of turn it on, and he's not had a bad start, but everybody just expects so much from him coming into this season. He's got 10 carries, 70 yards already this afternoon.
Well, and the thing I'm seeing today is that patience and then the burst. So he's got those quick feet, waiting, and then the explosion.
Davis has battled his shoulder, kind of a stinger. He's had shoulder issues in the last year and a half or so, and playing around with some different shoulder pads to try and help that a little bit. But yeah, he looks strong here today. 11 carries, 74 yards for Davis. He gets a rest here. Gronowski on 2nd and medium, trying to go for Jaden Yonke over there. And again, defensively, Jalen McKee for Western Illinois.
Oh, and Gronowski takes a shot here. You watch, he's hanging there waiting for his receiver to get open, and then he throws and gets buried.
Garrett Steffen has been in on a lot of plays already here in the first half defensively for Western Illinois. And it is 3rd and call it 6. Hines in motion. Jacks have really not looked his way so far yet. Gronowski going to come the other way, and he overthrows Jaden Yonke, who had a little window in there, but
well, again, yeah, he takes a shot again, though. You watch here, and it's right in the A gap. Pressure comes straight up the middle right there, and it's going to be right under his chin. I mean, oh, those, you feel those. These are 2 hits in a row. He's going back to the sideline. I think, whew, this isn't as easy as those first 2 drives seem.
That man again, Steffen, coming through for Western Illinois, causes the high throw. Jacks will have to punt it away, and Dustman will get into this just around his 30-yard line. And Western Illinois might have got a little piece of that. It's going to get a good South Dakota State roll, however, inside the 17-yard line. Western Illinois gets the football back, though, down just 10-3, 10 minutes to go before the half.
On Midco Sports is presented by Dakota Iron. Visit DakotaIronEquipment.com.
Beautiful day in Brookings, South Dakota. And we are 10 minutes to go here before halftime. Western Illinois with the football back for the 4th time now. They punted, had a fumble deep in SDSU territory, and then a field goal on their last possession. SDSU just 5 plays, 20 yards on that last possession of their own. And things have flipped a little bit since the opening drive. Clay Bruno will set him down at the 8-yard line. Reed going the other way. They got everybody blocked inside, but Matthew Durant runs him down over on the sideline after a gain of about 3 or 4.
Yeah, he gets there in a hurry, but once you want to make him start to dance. So right here, as soon as he starts to slow down and try to look around, that's when you got him. And when you get a hold of him, you're not going to lose it there.
Grab cloth, one of Stig's favorite things.
Yeah.
Gain of 3 on first down.
Oh.
Flipped right up in front of Dyshawn Gales. He was locked in on the receiver, though. Intended time for Parker.
Yeah, he caught just the side of the ball at the last second here. I mean, Bruno makes a nice throw. This should be caught. But Gales is, oh, that would have been a touchdown for me.
Jack's coaches really like these corners, Lofton and Gales. And now Gales will match up with Brunty. Out here on the 3rd and 7 for Bruno. Looking out that way. Winkleman coming from behind, and Reed Winkleman gets home.
And there might have been a blown coverage here because the back, Bruno doesn't even see it. He feels the pressure, but his back is wide open to the weak side, just swinging out. No one goes with him, but Bruno feels the pressure, tries to get out of there.
.16 career sacks down for Reese Winkleman as a Jackrabbit.
Careful the sun here.
Tyler Feldkamp back right shy of midfield as Bilkey pushes him back. Feldkamp a little slip, and then he gets picked off. So here's one of the guys we were just talking about, the duo of Reese Winkleman. 6th-year guy, Caleb Sanders, is in his 5th season. They have combined for almost 30 sacks.
I think they're both fantastic football players. Sanders, though, you see him and you think, boy, he's undersized playing in there. And he just is relentless. I mean, he is so good. And in an Iowa game, it seemed like he was in the backfield the entire game.
Yeah, 99 Sanders, 97 Winkleman. Davis taken after it. Relatively short gain. Sam Cook on the stop for Western Illinois. Gain of 2.
Yeah, the Jacks, they pulled Bernstein there, the right guard, and just not quite the same presence of I'm going to finish you like McCormick brings. A little more fundamentally, came at him square, wanted to block, but not really just pulverize him into the ground.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about that, but Bernstein, as you said, 61, made the start at Missouri State last week, his first start of the season. He was kind of the guy they were looking for at that guard spot. And the offensive line really back now where SDSU wants it to be. Still got some guys out that would add some depth. But
one thing I'll say, though, is the last 2 drives, the O-line, Western Illinois has figured something out because they've shut down the run game a little bit here, and then they've been able to get pressure on Gronowski these last 2 drives when he's back to throw.
Garrett Steffen got 2 big hits on Gronowski on that last drive. Him and Dedivo up there front. Jack's on 3rd and long. Gronowski had Davis out here. Wanted him trying to go to Zach Hines, and that's defended by Juan De La Cruz, the Western Illinois linebacker.
Well, and he's actually going to Jaden Yankee, who was right behind Hines. Hines floats out of his window, and he floats right into Yankee's window right there. Yankee's sitting there on a curl for a first down. Hines doesn't know. He's just trying to make the play there, thinking it's to him. You know, he's got arms like an octopus. He can reach out forever. But Yankee would have had a first down.
Why would you not throw it to him is the question. Western Illinois holds again, however. Brantley is back as the punt returner. And Dustman with the wind in his face, going to get some air under this one. Flag down back where they knocked down Dustman, and we'll see what the call is.
Well, it should be a roughing because he was still,
Roughing the kicker. Defense, number 12. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's first down.
He was in a completely helpless position there. He had no chance of defending himself. And that leg is still extended, and they hit that plant leg. I mean, that's scary. I'm surprised they would go after a block, though. When State's punting into the wind, you're really playing well defensively, and you've done some good things offensively. Let's continue that style of game, but they try to go after it, create something, and it backfires on them.
Yeah, it was 4th and 7, but the personal foul is a first down to the 39-yard line now of Western Illinois. Devin Cole motions back in. Gronowski going to go that way to Cole. Inside the 30, close to another first down, and he's got it.
Yeah, such an easier throw to the short side of the field compared to last time we saw. He tried throwing that same one to the opposite hash, and it almost got picked off.
It does seem like early on here they've made Gronowski make some hard throws.
Yeah, but a lot of the quicker throws too. I really like that. He's very good. He can catch, throw. When he has no pressure right in his face, extremely accurate.
Lamar Johnson in at running back. Catch and grab, good for 12 yards for Cole on that last connection. And there is Zach Hines, and he caught it and dropped it, and I think it's incomplete, and it is.
Boy, this one you want to look at is, one, is he a helpless receiver here? Oh, yeah, how's that? That's targeting. I mean, that's. Yeah, he leads right with the crown of his head. I mean, that's going to be replayed, I would think, for sure here.
Yeah, they just put it up on the board here on the replay.
Yeah, Coach Stig, yeah.
Went over asking if they're going to take a look at this. And
the previous play is under further review.
Well, I mean, the first thing that told you something was not right was Hines' reaction after. I mean, when he's looking a little dazed and shaking his head a little bit. Yeah, leading with that. Anytime you see the helmet is down when he's coming in to hit. The thing is, you get a tight end like Hines, 6'7", 260 pounds. The only way you're separating that ball is if you launch yourself at him. Otherwise, the only other option you have is going straight at his knees, which players never like doing that to each other. But anyone trying to go at him is that's a tall task right there.
And the replay officials always come visit with us before the game. We always ask them what is the components of targeting. The crown of the helmet is from the top of the helmet 6 inches down, so that is crown of the helmet. Defenseless runner is another component of that. Launching certainly is. This might have all the earmarks, yes, of target.
Well, the first thing I think we kind of forget about is hopefully, I don't even know, is Zach Hines okay? I don't know if he stayed out there, if he came out. You kind of instantly gravitate to the replay and start looking at that. But perfect throw. Perfect throw.
After further review, the hit number 38. Therefore, he gets beat in the game. It is third down.
Wow. That's surprising. Yeah. It must be where the location that he hit Hines, maybe in that upper shoulder collarbone area. I thought with the head down and the crown of the helmet coming right at him, and I think that's what Coach Stig's questioning too. Is this one seemed like an easy one, fellas.
All right, that was TJ Limehouse, by the way, who had the personal foul early in the first quarter. But the hit is good, they say. Hines did come over. You saw Dr. Chad Kurtenbach giving him the once-over, and they'll take Hines into the tent, make sure he's okay. Isaiah Davis now on the ground. This is going to set up a 3rd and 8 for the Jacks from the 25-yard line.
Well, and the Jacks, what they have to do, you stand stagnant for so long there, kind of forget, hey, we're playing a football game here. We got to go. We're not going to get that play. We got to make up for it now.
3rd down, 8 from the 25.
Jacks moved the football with ease on that opening drive. Isaiah Davis, 6 runs, took it right down the field for a touchdown. Since then, this Western Illinois defense has stiffened up. 3rd and 7. Gronowski. Davis got the first down. He's down right outside the 10-yard line.
It's a great throw by Gronowski. What they do is they just slip. They just slip right through there. Western Illinois runs a twist where the Mike linebacker tries to pick the center, and they wrap the D tackle around. Instead of helping on the protection, Isaiah Davis just slips right there. Gronowski dumps down to him, wide open, no one there to cover him.
Had to just get it under the hand of Jake Dedevo. And it is 1st and 10 just outside the 10-yard line. Lamar Johnson on it, running back. Sweep motion to Yankee. Johnson nowhere to go this time. Going to go backwards a little bit as De La Cruz on the stop again for Western Illinois.
And it seemed like there was going to be a hole there. Johnson just trying to feel it out, and then De La Cruz came in and just cleaned it up.
Jacks were able to get some good yards last week at Missouri State, getting Lamar Johnson out on the edge. There's De La Cruz, who makes it 2nd and 10. Gronowski going to keep himself. He's got a little seam. Can he get to the end zone? And he is in for the touchdown.
Those are such confidence builders for Gronowski, having the confidence to run. And you saw a burst. You saw some explosion there when he got outside and committed to the run. But it's one of the ones where he runs, scores a touchdown, and then everyone's their breath. Everyone's waiting. Is he getting up? He's okay. All right, great. Awesome play.
Fourth rushing touchdown of the season for Gronowski.
He had Jackson Yankee on a drag coming back, but it's so tough, and you're a right-hander rolling out to the left to be able to throw back on that, and he made a wise decision. Just, hey, I'm going to go here.
Jacks were late in getting on the
Offense,
field.
5-yard penalty, retry.
Yeah, it's always a luxury on extra point, though, where, hey, we're not sure who we have here. Do we have the right personnel? Hey, just take the delay game. I mean, the 5 yards on an extra point isn't like.
All right, keep 90 to hold. And Dustman. From 25 yards out. Will make good anyway. So Gronowski on the ground with 4:11 to play. In the first half, 17-3 South State. Coming up tonight, 5:30, pregame 6 o'clock puck drop. Manitoba and North Dakota in an exhibition contest in Grand Forks as UND hockey gets going for this season. Alex Heiner, Jake Grant, and Taylor Budge will have the pregame show. Coming up tonight on Midco Sports. Regular season gets started next Friday and Saturday for UND hockey with Holy Cross at UND. We'll have those games as well. And in Grand Forks, speaking of UND, the Fighting Hawks are putting it on Missouri State. It's 48-31. North Dakota leading Missouri State with less than 2 minutes to go in that game. Jack Green going to get this one up into the wind after the Gronowski touchdown run. 17-3 South Dakota State. Parker is the deep man, and the ball goes off the tee. Great student section again here at Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium. Stadium's filling in nicely again. At 16,000 here for the last game against Butler.
Always helps when the weather's so perfect, too.
All right, hangs up. Parker gonna have to run up, and this one's, that ball is in play, and still a scramble for it at the 20-yard line. South Dakota State is on it. Jacks will get the football. Davion Sterner down there in coverage, and that was just a goofy wind kick that backed up about 10 yards, and Sterner jumps on it.
Well,
eventually.
It looked like the ball got to the 20-yard line in the air, and it just comes straight down, and then it bounces backwards. It lands perfectly for the Jackrabbits. It's one of those home field advantages. Playing the win, you know what you have here.
I think that was Dante Johnson, one of the freshmen for the Jacks, coming off after that special teams play. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, last night high school game saw a punt that was negative 7 yards. The wind tunnels down at Howard Wood.
So the Jacks into the wind will start at the 21-yard line. Zach Hines is back out there, by the way, for South Dakota State, leading the block on the left side for Davis, who slips down and falls at the 16-yard line.
You love when your offensive lineman, after a play or signal on the sideline, do it again.
Mason McCormick and Garrett Greenfield on their left side, swinging out to Jackson Yonke. Kenyon Bauer trying to get a block, and then he gets blown up by Sam Cook.
There's a difference with a tailback being patient, waiting for a hole to open up, and a receiver. I mean, when a receiver's standing there waiting for the blocks to develop, all the pursuit is coming. Everyone's going to get out there. Whereas a running back, he can buy his time, find the hole, and you're blocking straight ahead. It doesn't work out at the receiver spot.
Cook made the stop for no gain, 3rd and 5. Five receivers. Amar Johnson joins the wide receiver group. Gronowski going into Kenyon Bauer in the corner, and he could not quite come back to get it. And defended there by Bryce Cross for Western Illinois.
Well, and, you know, it gets underthrown. Been a tough grab. Gives him a chance, though.
Yeah, the timing was really good. Perfect for Cross. Yeah, if they want Bauer to get a touchdown today, they're going to have to. These are all, although, yes, the one in the first quarter, coulda, shoulda. Next again, Dustman will try the field goal. That slides wide left. So SDSU, after they get the recovery on the kickoff, cannot do anything with it. And Western Illinois will take over with 2:53 to go in the first half.
Those are the ones those are really disappointing there. They might have got up to that coming off the edge there. But those are the ones that are really disappointing. You get great field position off a turnover, and then you just go 3 and out, miss a field goal. You just don't take advantage. That's where you really want to pull away, and just it's demoralizing for a team when you turn the ball over, teams take advantage of it, you feel like there's nothing left.
One of the negatives from last week of the win at Missouri State. The Jacks did miss 3 field goals. Had one of them like that one that might have got touched. As Jason Freeman got a touch on that.
Oof, that's one he'd like to have that back too. He saw that ball coming. He gets his hand up last minute. It looked like he saw it soon enough to try to make a play on it.
Freeman stepped into that linebacker spot. Isaiah Stallbird is back this week. Number 2 is back there at safety. And Stallbird had moved to linebacker and now back to safety. Safety as he makes his return. He comes up trying to stuff this run. Leathernecks will get it out across the 25-yard line. Choquette on the carry.
One looked at the Jacks get a stop here for them to call timeout. Try to be able to get the ball back. Opportunity to score before the half.
Choquette trying to stretch it. Adam Bach runs him down, drops him short of the first down by a couple yards.
Yeah, and Coach Stig calls timeout right away. I think Bach is just such a good football player. He's so hard-nosed, but what he does is he doesn't think, he just reacts. He just goes, and that's the difference between average football players and great ones. The great ones just go, they react, they make the plays, rather than think about it, what do I got to do? And then when you react, you're too slow by that point.
Jimmy Rogers made that comment after last week's game. Jason Freeman, who we saw make a play here on this drive, had a personal foul penalty at Missouri State for making a stop, and then he got flagged for misconduct for chirping a little bit. But Coach Rogers said, I don't like penalty, but I like the attitude. You want to build that attitude in defense. Just go to play fast, and as you said, not try to overthink it.
On in there, you got to play with a different mentality in there.
Feldkamp, fair catch at the 33-yard line, and the Jacks will have 2 minutes here to try and move it again. Feldkamp had that punt return against UC Davis that went for a score that got called back by a penalty. Did get his first touchdown catch as a Jackrabbit this season, but
design play too.
On the snap that Gronowski recovered and found Feldkamp for a touchdown. South Dakota State 1 timeout, and they will start at the 33-yard line. And they will go 5 wide again for Gronowski. This is again had Jackson with a lot of field in front of him.
It's one of the few passes, though, where you see Gronowski with no pressure in his face, feet set, and just an errant throw. Yeah, Yankee was wide open. Yeah, he's got no pressure.
Bit of a struggle so far here in the first half. Gronowski 7 of 17. Yankee trying to get to the sideline, not going to get there. Gets to the 39-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down. Clock ticking.
Yeah, you can tell he was expecting to be hit as he came down. Turned around, didn't realize he still had the opportunity to make a move there.
Quick snap again. Throw out to the sideline. Amar Johnson is dragged down in bounds. He might not have the first down either.
I think they gave it to him, but Amar Johnson got to realize, just catch that and continue to go to the sideline. Don't catch, look, and try to bounce around. Just keep going with that. You'll get the first down on that.
Move the sticks, doesn't really stop the clock, however. Gronowski's slinging over the middle, and this will get it stopped. Kenyon Bauer, it's out of his reach.
Well, I think it was to Johnson. I think that was supposed to be to Johnson, hitting him on a circle route there.
All right. Second down. Feldkamp comes in as one of the the slot man this time. Hines motions back. Western coming with a little pressure from the linebacker spot. Zach Hines makes the catch. Out of bounds at the 49.
Yeah, they run a little pick route there. They use Coombs to kind of just rub the linebacker. Easy pitch and catch for Gronowski and Hines. Gronowski pulled Hines, though, out of bounds. If he could have just got it right on his body, he probably could have ran for a few more yards.
Third down and 4. Ball is at the Jackrabbit 49.
Third and 4. Jaden Yonke motions in. Gronowski long throw going the other way, and Jackson Yonke tried to make a one-hand grab on that, and now it's fourth down right in the middle of the field.
Yeah, again, that's I mean, that's a really tough throw.
So SDSU moved about 16 yards is all, and Dustman will have to punt it back. Western Illinois still has 3 timeouts. Really want to give Brantley a chance at a return here, and Dustman will send that to the sideline, and it stays in. Beanham down to cover it at about the 5-yard line.
Well, and he recovers. You could have let it go a little further, but you're just so shocked the ball's coming at you there. Really good punt. That punt will really take away a lot of what Western Illinois was thinking. Like, hey, we may be able to get a few shots down the field here. Now you think, well, maybe we should be very conservative here with this first play, see if we do anything, then decide if we want to try to go NASCAR hurry up type offense.
Yeah, the ball's at the 4-yard line. Bruno with Jalen Reed beside him. Slips 2 tackles. Reed finally brought down at the 9.
He moves at a different speed, that's for sure.
Got 5. Western not stopping the clock. They go back to Reed, brought down this time by Adam Bach after a gain of 1, and the clock's just going to run down here.
Yeah, you don't see Bach miss many tackles, even in space like that against a guy like Rogers. Still able to bring him down.
Bach averaging just over 8 tackles a game through the first 4 games, top 5 in the Missouri Valley. Every player gets graded after each game, and he always grades off the charts. Not only making plays, but making the right plays. And that'll be the half. With South Dakota State in the lead 17-3. And SDSU will get the football to start the 3rd quarter. So a Davis touchdown run for SDSU, a Dustman field goal, and a Gronowski touchdown run. And just the Mason Laramie field goal of the first half here for Western Illinois. Sack for Winkleman, and when we come back, a story on SDSU wide receiver Canyon Bauer. Halftime, South Dakota State leading Western Illinois 17-3 in this Missouri Valley Conference showdown. Welcome back inside Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium, and South Dakota State went right down the field on that opening drive, running the football with Isaiah Davis. Jacks got up 10-0 and just kind of ground down in that second quarter. What happened?
Yeah, well, they had that unique package of where they put Isaiah Davis, a Wildcat,
And it seemed like that whole package was built up for that one-trick play because we haven't seen it since. And then you have to give Western Illinois some credit. They've done a nice job defensively, shutting down the in-between tackle and tackle. And then offensively, they've moved the ball. I mean, I don't think the score is indicative of really how close of a game this is.
Yeah, between the 20s, Western moved it up and down in that second quarter. Some of the first half highlights we'll take a look at here. Brought to you by Avera Orthopedics. And first drive was all Isaiah Davis. 6 runs on the ground. He went 46 yards. Jacks took advantage of a penalty there as well. And it was 7-0. And then Caden Johnson forced a fumble here. Dayton McCoy got on it. That led to a Hunter Dustman field goal. It was 10-0 South Dakota State at the end of the first quarter. Mason Laramie from 35 yards to cut it to a 10-3 lead. And then Mark Granowski, with receivers in the end zone, takes it in himself from 11 yards out. And it was 17-3. The Jacks got the recovery on that kickoff, but couldn't do anything with it. Missed a field goal after that. And here you go with the halftime numbers presented by CU Mortgage Direct. And Isaiah Davis up around 80 yards as part of that rushing total for South Dakota State.
Well, I would expect coming out second half, they're going to try to reestablish getting him back into the groove of the game and taking over the line of scrimmage. Everything will feed off of that.
See the total play discrepancy there. Jack's not really knocking it off in big chunks here so far.
No, and the 2 turnovers for Western Illinois, the 2 fumbles, one on the kick return and one by the quarterback, the Jacks only got 3 points off that. I mean, you got to take advantage of those because they were prime field position too.
All right, 17-3 at halftime here in Brookings. When we come back, we'll take a look around the rest of the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Welcome back, 17-3, Jackrabbits on the Agtegra scoreboard. And around the rest of the Missouri Valley Football Conference today, look at that. In Grand Forks, North Dakota puts 48 on Missouri State to win that 48-31, and all of a sudden the Bears are 0-2 in the Valley.
Well, one of the struggles Missouri State might have is you get 25 drop-down transfers. It's sometimes hard to create an identity of a team, especially after you lose a game that you felt like maybe you should have won, like SDSU. Things start to unravel. They start to fall apart. You start to wonder if the coach is even going to be there next year, if Petrino will go somewhere else. It's difficult for team concepts. And
you go to Grand Forks, you're going to get a game out of North Dakota, and Fighting Hawks get to 3-2 with a 48-31 win there in Fargo. North Dakota State is closing out Youngstown State. And again, the Bison will host South Dakota State in 2 weeks in the Dakota Marker game in Fargo. NDSU still the #1 team in the country in FCS. A little later on, Northern Iowa and Indiana State. And Southern Illinois is all of a sudden back in the conversation, at least, after a couple of good wins. One of those in the Valley with the win over North Dakota.
Well, and then, when they beat Northwestern, right, in Southern Illinois, and the Salukis wouldn't beat them. And I think the great thing about the Missouri Valley is their non-conference schedule. They can take on those big challenges because you can still make the playoffs in the Missouri Valley with 4 losses and potentially even 5.
All right, 17-3 here. University of South Dakota off this week, by the way, and the Coyotes come here to Brookings next Saturday in the South Dakota Showdown. Speaking of Missouri State, the Jacks on the road to open the Valley last Saturday, and the defense showed up, especially in the first half. 4 sacks in the game for SDSU. The front 4 played great. With one of those sacks there. Granowski had a fantastic afternoon. First touchdown throw of the day to Jaden Yonke. Made it 7-0. More defense out of the Jacks. This is Stephen Arell, one of the backup corners, coming up making a stop there, and they almost shut down that Missouri State offense, especially in the first half. Third quarter here, and the Bears driving. Colby Herter steps in front of that Jason Shelley pass, picks it off, takes it back 70 yards. And that would set up another Granowski score. This one to Jackson Yonke coming from the right side. Jacks up 14-0. And then Missouri State kind of figure things out a little bit. They got a burst up the middle on the ground for a touchdown, and then Jason Shelley with a touchdown toss here. Tied it up at 14 after 3 quarters. And then the SDSU defense stepped up again. Gronowski to Zach Hines, who had 7 catches in the game and a touchdown, 21-14. Here's another big play defense. Jared DePriest coming off the corner there to get Shelley, and that forced a punt late in the led to another SDSU touchdown. Gronowski to Jaden Young, who makes a move on the outside here and gets his 2nd touchdown of the game, made it 28-14. And the late interception by Matthew Durant's 2nd pick of the game for the Jackrabbits, and they win it 28-14.
That hit by Priest, those are the type that you just don't happen for many players, and you get that opportunity and you think, oh my gosh, thank goodness that wasn't me as a quarterback right there, because those are the ones you just drop. You think is a video game, that everything lines up perfectly. Quarterback poses perfectly for you. He stays there for you, and you're able to just run right through him.
All right, 17-3, South Dakota State in the lead, and Mark Gronowski and the Jackrabbit offense will have it to start the 3rd quarter when we come back. Set for the 2nd half here in Brookings, 17-3, South Dakota State. And while we've got a moment here at Danny J. Dykehouse Stadium, let's listen in on today's Avera Ortho tip.
Living in the Midwest, the winters can make it difficult to stay active. But you don't need to go outside to get physical. An easy way to strengthen your muscles at the office is to do a few wall sits throughout the day. You can also take the stairs instead of the elevator, and make sure you find the time to take a few laps around the office. Remember, you don't have to go it alone. Make it a group activity and get your whole team up and moving. For more ortho tips and information, go to avera.org/ortho.
That's unbelievable. He must have been watching you during the games, doing wall sets as you're broadcasting.
Planking, just doing some planking.
It's not a team effort. You haven't been able to get me to do those with you yet.
You're walking the 6 stories down on the stairs when we leave. All right, 17-3, and the Jacks set to receive with Feldkamp and Amar Johnson. SDSU 3-1 overall. The loss at Iowa to start this season, and then the wins here at home against UC Davis and Butler, and the win at Missouri State last week. Western Illinois at 0-4 right now. Took a loss at UT Martin and at Minnesota to start the season. Lost a close one, 17-10 at home to Southern Utah, and then got beat up a little bit by Northern Iowa last week, 52-17. So the Leathernecks for their first win of the season, and Feldkamp knocks it down like a shortstop, picks it back up, and gets blasted at the 15-yard line. And whistles, and there is a big fracas back at about the 40-yard line that has nothing to do with the hit at the return, on the return there by Ryan Crandall.
Yeah, and there's going to be some ejections here.
Yeah, this was 20 yards away from where that play ended with the hit.
You just never, I mean, you're right. It was 2 guys that got tied up away from the ball, and they start jaw-jacking a little bit, and then that leads to the chest bumping, and then who's going to throw a punch? And unfortunately, one decided to. Talking about the Bauer halftime piece, that was really good. Canyon he worked his tail off at our academy, and then at the combine, he tested so well, and that's when the teams all started offering.
Against both teams. Unsportsmanlike conduct, South Dakota State, number 26. Unsportsmanlike conduct, 24 for Western Illinois. Those penalties will offset. Those are the first unsporting penalties for each of those players.
Wow, I'm shocked there wasn't an ejection, because there was clearly punches being thrown. But Bauer, people weren't sure about him. He was so dominant at a Gorman, but what level could he play at? And then when he tested, I mean, he was lights out. He had a great preparation at our academy, and then the combine, great vertical, great 40, and then got off right there on the spot.
He and Taryn Christian,
who
was the fastest guy here.
First one ever to run the 40 at our combine, and is the fastest still today. He is actually faster by it's like 100th of a second.
But you look at that list: Angel Johnson, Chase Vinatieri, Kate Tervier, all those guys that had fantastic 40 times at the Riggs Combine. All right, so both teams probably dodged a little bit of a bullet there after the offsetting penalties for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Offense,
South
number
Dakota State.
74, 10-yard penalty. It's still first down.
This is going to be just their second penalty of the game, and a hold will run it all the way back to the SDSU 11-yard line. Jacks had 12 penalties in that opening game at Iowa. They've kind of settled that down a little bit, 5 or 6 in the last few games. But
and I think some of that's tough to gauge because they were backed up their field position, and it was so loud. A lot of them were false starts.
Holding this time makes it 1st and 20. Swinging out to Isaiah Davis. Just does get out across the 10. Not a whole lot there. Dragged down by Juan Cruz.
Yeah, De La Cruz does a nice job staying inside out on him here, forcing him to go to the sideline. Davis makes a good decision. Just get what you can run into the sideline. Eventually he's going to get pushed out of bounds, but he had nowhere else to go.
Got 2 yards on the catch and carry, 2nd and 18. Mike Morgan with the grab over the middle, and he rumbles out across the 30-yard, close to a first down. Does not get the call very often. That is just the 7th catch in his career for Mike Morgan, and
he looks good catching the ball. Great job settling in the void area. It's really hard when you have 2 potential NFL tight ends in front of you.
Jacks have always had that player, though. You go back to Luke Sellers not too many years ago. Just a fantastic blocker, and once in a while would get a chance like that. But the grab by Morgan is good for a first down. He goes back to the right side. Nowski handles the snap, and the timing's fine as Isaiah Davis goes ahead, and a flag comes way in. The field judge threw that thing about 30 yards.
I mean, he has to be a major league right fielder. he just threw that thing all the way on a dime to home plate.
The run by Davis went ahead for about 7.
Personal foul, blindside block, offense, number 10. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's still 2nd down.
Yeah, so what happens here is Yankee is at receiver, and he cracks. He comes down, and he gets the safety. The safety's trying to make a tackle on Davis, never sees Yankee coming, so then it's deemed a blindside block. Yeah, right. You see it right there. He gets him from the side. It's another one of the areas they're just trying to make the game safer. Those used to be normal blocks all the time.
Plenty of potential danger there on that play, and Jacks pay for it. Put him back in 1st and 21. Wipe out that run by Davis. They go back to Amar Johnson.
A good job by Johnson setting up his block there by Greenfield. Greenfield's pulling. Johnson dips inside and then lets Greenfield kick out the defensive end and cuts inside off of him there.
Second down, 15 from the 26-yard line.
Devin Cole splits out here to right. 2nd and 15. Mar Johnson stays on. Leathernecks again, bring 4. And another throw by Gronowski through the hands of Devin Cole, and catchable, but not right on the money.
Yeah, one of the problems, though, Cole runs that route about 3 yards too short. I mean, it would have been, it was only 2nd down, but still run that 2 yards deeper. That would have, that timing of when Gronowski and him, it seemed off rhythm a little bit there.
Third down 15 for the Jacks.
Good protection there.
So 3rd and 15. Sam Cook, 54 down here on the end of the line, has been coming in the pass rush and does so again. Jacks try to go inside him with Amar Johnson, but barely going to get back to the line of scrimmage before the penalties. And it is 4th and very long, and Western Illinois will stop.
Yeah, and that's a call that, hey, we were 2nd and 20. We were 3rd and long. We were 2nd and long, 3rd and long again. There's only so many plays we can do before we turn the ball over in these situations. So let's get out of this monotonous, stagnant style of we're doing right now and start over here.
Dustman into Breeze again.
Boy, that would have been a
False
tough
start.
one to catch, too.
Offense, number 7, 5-yard penalty. It's still 4th down.
That wind just knocked that thing down at the 40-yard line. Just hung it up in the air.
Well, this is 4 penalties.
Yeah.
Here, since we opened the half on South Dakota State, had the unsportsmanlike on the kickoff, the illegal block on Jackson Yonke, a hold, and now motion, and the Jacks will put Dustman back inside his own 15-yard line. Nassim Brantley, the punt returner for Western Illinois, is all the way up at his own 40-yard line. And this is barely going to get midfield and stop right there and roll to the 45-yard line of the Leathernecks. Timeout just underway in Brookings, still 17-3 South Dakota State.
By Farmers Union Insurance. Simply different.
Welcome back. A little breezy in Brookings. Beautiful afternoon here, though, on October 1st. And Western Illinois gets the football here for the first time in the second half at their own 45-yard line after their defense stops SDSU. Jacks run out this front 4. Kate Tervier, Reese Winkleman, Caleb Sanders, Ryan Van Marl, and Clay Bruno stays on there at QB in this one, and he is going deep. He's got a man, and Dyshawn Gales goes back and picks it off for the Jackrabbits. Jafar Armstrong had a step, but Gales reaches up and picks it off.
But not sure how it wasn't a pass, too. I get a better look here, but look, he picks it off and the ball just, it's even with wind's tough. Yeah, you see his. Looks like a face mask to me. Hey, here's the thing that's amazing. Defensive back makes a great catch like that in traffic. I mean, that's a spectacular play.
Gales with the pick. It's all the way down at the 11-yard line of the Jacks, but SDSU gets it right back. Isaiah Davis and Amar Johnson in the backfield. Johnson, a little block on the outside from Mike Morgan. Gus Miller out there leading the block as well. Tackle by Mike Newman.
You know, that was blocked really well. And it's just at some point your running back has got to make that first defender that comes up to eventually tackle you. You got to make them miss, and that's how you get the long, productive plays. It's blocked well, you get through there, and then you make someone miss, and you make them pay. Right now, it's being blocked well. We're running, and then just getting tackled.
Gain of 3. Isaiah Davis, 16 carries, 90 yards thus far. Morgan flips over. Davis going that way behind him. Cuts it inside across the 21st down for Davis, out across the 22-yard line.
Yeah, once again, blocked well.
And Yonke and Cross again.
Yeah, Jaden, he needs to be careful there. Yeah, Cross is coming out. You can see he's just a little volatile there. Coaches are trying to get him to just settle down. Sometimes when you know you can just push his buttons. Just a little jab every now and then and get him out of the game.
Direct snap again to Davis. Cuts inside, juke across the 35, dragging tacklers to the 38-yard line.
Well, this is that Wildcat look we saw the first drive of the game. Davis makes a fantastic cut, though. You see he's following and then just cuts back across the grain. Great job protecting the ball right there, too. Really nice job. Andre Crenshaw, the running back coach, you can tell he's working with the guys on that right there.
Back to the split back. Skronowski does take the snap. This time Angel Johnson will fake to him. Skronowski, flag is going to bring this thing back. Skronowski rumbling all the way down inside the 30, but a flag down behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense, number 78. It's a 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Ooh, these penalties.
Stacking up now.
Yeah. Cost, I mean, they're always costly, but you can overcome. Just you start to accumulate so many, it gets insurmountable there to where these long ones, too, these holding ones that are from the spot.
SDSU did not have a penalty in the first half, and they've got 5 of them already here in the first 7 minutes here of the second half. That's John O'Brien, who transferred in from Bowling Green at right tackle for the Jacks. Moved over there when Evan Berenson came back in right guard. So again, 1st and 20 for South Dakota State. Yankee comes across. Block from Morgan. Yankee spins, got about 11 on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 9.
Nice job by Yankee, just catching it and going. Don't wait for things to develop, just take off and go. Great job by Morgan there.
Devin Cole, little piece of a block as well. They get 11 on the catch by Yankee. Six catches now for Jackson Yankee. Back to Amar Johnson, and he is smacked down right away. Mike Newman again, linebacker on the stop for Western Illinois, and it's 3rd and 9.
And it just looked like it was a different path where he was supposed to go. His guard wraps around from the backside, Bernstein does, and he thought he saw some daylight and took it off outside.
Yankee and Bauer one side, Yankee and Hines to the left. On 3rd down for Gronowski. This time they hit out in the seam, and then to Jaden Yankee for a 1st down.
Yeah, this is a great throw, great catch. Great job by Yankee settling, not running full speed. He slows down in that window, and Gronowski, great job with his eye looking right, and then comes back to Yankee in the window. Well executed play there. That's the thing you love about zone teams. They're going to have weaknesses there. They're not going to jam you at the line. They're going to give you chances to roam and windows to throw to.
Back outside, Jackson Yankee. Little room, makes a move, and hanging onto the ankle, Jalen McKee to make the stop. But that's another 14 yards for the Jackrabbits.
Yeah, State gets really lucky here that they don't get linemen downfield. They had 3. This is an RPO, and it's something that's really being called more and more now as officials have caught on to the run-pass option. You're going to do this run action, you're going to get linemen downfield, and then you're going to decide to throw. Well, that's not legal. Right there, State got away with about 3 of their guys executing their blocks downfield.
Nate Sullivan in there at one of the tight ends. Morgan comes to the other side. Balance it back up, and Davis, great cut again. You're right, he is running strong, making cuts, getting it north and south, and that is another big chunk of about 12 yards for Davis as he goes under 100 or over 100 on the afternoon.
Yeah, and the offensive line right there, they just look like they were mashing people. I mean, they down block, and Davis then does the rest. He looks really good. They really need to identify that true 1-2 combo, though, that can also run in between the tackles. Not just Davis, someone else that can get in there and get those hard-earned yards.
Davis again running behind Mike Morgan, and at right side this time O'Brien and Berenson.
You can see the Western Illinois defense is exhausted. As much as State's hurt themselves with the penalties, they've been on field for a long period of time, though, and Western Illinois defense has paid the price for that.
Jacks go quick again. Davis. Defense steps up this time. Big man in the middle for the Leathernecks. Tajay Mullix on stop back to the 8-yard line. Third down from there.
Yeah, you get backed up and you just start to shoot a gap sometimes, and they guessed right.
This will be a full media timeout.
4:18 to go in the third. Jacks have it at the 8-yard line. Third down coming up. Today's injury report brought to you by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Dr. Verl Valentine here with the Jackrabbits. Rudy Voss is hanging out over on the sideline. He's battling back injuries right now. He's kind of been in there as the number 2 quarterback behind Gronowski here to start the season, but Keaton Heide's been out with illness, and now Voss fighting an injury of his own.
The tough part for the Jacks is they've got to keep battling through it all season long. Their bye week is not until the very last regular season week.
Still a couple of offensive linemen out for the Jacks. Bo Donald, kid from Kimball, is among them. Tucker Kraft out as well. They expect Kraft back sometime here in the next few weeks. Jacks on third down. They run Kenyon Bauer on a sweep motion there, and then Gronowski directing traffic, and he throws it into the corner, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, you might see the guy there, but that's the throw all the way across the field.
Not sure who it was for you. Western Illinois had a man there defensively, but Cole Watts couldn't bring Gronowski down. He was looking for Mark Johnson. So SDSU, you always say settle for a field goal, isn't it? That's kind of how it feels, though, isn't it?
Well, you almost feel lucky to get one with all the penalties, the self-inflicted wounds here. To still get something, you got to be grateful.
Dustman floats that one through. Jacks get point, 20-3. But it stayed here late in the third quarter. Jacks get another Dustman field goal to go up 20-3. A late third quarter here. South Dakota State offensively now has not quite tripled up the total yards on the Leathernecks, but getting close. SDSU 336 total yards. Gronowski 15-29 through the air, 159 yards.
I think Western Illinois only ran one play quarter. They came out through the pick. SDSU, though, with all the penalties they've gotten, they've just consumed this entire quarter.
Jack Green again to kick it away here.
How many times are we going to keep trying? We know the wind's going to blow it off here.
got to stay hopeful,
I wonder if
Curtis.
they have tryouts for that spot.
Don't go out and hold on the kick.
Who's the person that's not going to move their hand?
I think that's Beanham, and he is concentrating hard on keeping that thing on the tee, and Green gets into it. And short again. They knocked the return man out of the way. That was Jay Parker, and then the return by the Leathernecks from Jake McClure, one of the tight ends.
Yeah, it's so difficult with that wind. The up back catches it when the return man was there, but because of the previous fumble, you could tell they weren't sure.
Right, you are correct. Just one play by Western Illinois in this third quarter so far. And that was the interception thrown by Bruno, picked off by Dyshawn Gales. Football on the turf again, but Jay Parker jumps back on it.
Yeah, and Parker, he has his eyes downfield before he's even getting the ball. And Parker, a lot like Reed, smaller, shiftier back.
Reed in there behind Bruno. Tops ahead for a couple yards, but after that first down loss, it's still second and about 12, or excuse me, third and about 12 coming up.
State's going to a nickel style defense here, bringing in another defensive back. Only going to rush 3.
Three safeties, 3 backers. Catch made underneath, and the defense works as it should for the Jacks. Jafar Armstrong on the catch, but he is about 5 yards short of a first down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Coach Rogers, D coordinator, wants. Is he wants them to throw underneath, just rally up to tackle, and then you got to punt.
9 tackles now for Adam Bach for the Jacks. Bilkey, a little spinner into the hands of Feldkamp, who made the catch and then tried to signal fair catch, and he is taken down, rightfully so, at the 33-yard line.
I mean, that might make ESPN right here. I don't know if I've ever seen this happen. It's just one where you have it in your head like I should fair catch it, and then you catch it. Oh my gosh, I forgot to fair catch it.
Well, the sun, like you said, the sun is in his eyes. Yep. The ball's coming in a hurry.
It was a low kick, too. It was low, but that's a classic moment right there.
Made the catch.
Some of the fans were yelling like it should have been a penalty, but the Western Illinois defender was correct.
Give to Davis, who goes backwards maybe a yard here on first down. Taken down by Sam Cook. Davis was over 130 yards before that run.
You know, Coach Stiggs just thinking, we want a touchdown either way, but boy, we really need to finish some drives here.
Yankee again makes that catch, jukes to the outside, turns it back inside, and picks up a first down.
Yeah, nice adjustment by Coach Lujan. There's a big difference throwing a hitch route all the way across the field where the receiver's coming back to the ball. You see, he breaks down, and now he can work back to the ball and then go inside with it, compared to those out routes they were trying to throw that were almost getting picked off.
8 catches for Jackson Yonke. Big boys again out there pushing away as Davis takes it to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like it was about a 3-yard gain. He ended up getting 7. Lost his shoe on the run.
Jackson Yonke, by the way, with that last catch, has moved in to 7th place on the all-time reception list for the Jackrabbits, right behind Cade Johnson now. 8 catches for Jackson Yonke. Jacks will have it right at midfield when we come back. 20-3, South Dakota State through 3 quarters.
On Midco Sports is presented by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the exclusive orthopedic and sports medicine provider of the Jackrabbits.
Pleasant afternoon in Brookings, and the Jacks will start the 4th quarter here with the football right at the 50-yard line. 2nd and 3 coming up. Isaiah Davis behind Gronowski. Fake to the back, and the defender fell down, and Jaden Yonke could not haul it in.
Officials timeout for a defensive injury.
Jalen McKee went down as he was in coverage against Yonke.
This will be a full media timeout.
You can tell with that win, it's tough for him to judge because he starts to slow down, then he starts to speed up, and then it bounces off his back shoulder. Yeah, tough one. I mean, obviously one that we're accustomed to him catching.
Yeah. So they will attend to McKee. We'll be right back. The John Stiegelmeier resume here at South Dakota State. And you see the playoff appearances there. 10 straight appearances in the playoffs for the Jacks, by the way.
One of the things that's so impressive is more successful at the FCS level than the D2 level. You know, the old NCC days, State's making the transition, new coach, and go make the transition, and never missed a beat. I mean, I think every team that makes that transition now uses SDSU as the stepping stone.
Yeah, at least 8 wins every year since 2012. And again, the Jacks made the move to FCS 15 years ago now. So after the drop by Jaden Yonke, Jacks get a first down to the 44-yard line of Western Illinois.
Well, you and I were looking at during the break, at the end of the 3rd quarter, they ran 62 plays offensively compared to 30 for Western Illinois. And the score is still only 20-3.
Just a field goal here in the second half so far by SDSU. Lamar Johnson dragged down by Braylon Brooks, but a gain of that's close to 10, and it is 10 and a first down.
Yeah, it was well blocked. Nice job. They did the crack block again, but the receiver did a much better job of squaring up the safety this time, so it wasn't a blindside block.
Isaiah Davis comes back in. 24 carries so far for Davis. Jacks again with that 2-back set and give to Angel Johnson, and there's the burst to the outside to break a tackle. He almost slipped through a couple more at the 30-yard line, and Angel Johnson with with a gain of about 7.
And that's what we're talking about right there by Angel, making that guy miss. And you get him out in space, that's what he's best at. And a nice stiff arm breaks that tackle and gets you 7 or 8 more yards.
Give him 6 on that carry for Angel Johnson. Fake to Davis, pressure coming. Gronowski slips that. He's got a first down, it appears, at about the 24-yard line.
Really good pocket presence here. Nice job feeling that edge rusher to where he has to step up. And then as he steps up, he just, the timing of the play is off. So it's, let me get positive yards here.
Western a little plan over on their sideline as well. Jalen McKee did come off the field after falling down a moment ago.
One of the other things you got to account for with Coach Stig in that transition and all success, think of all the coaches he's lost during that time. You know, when you have a successful program, one thing that happens is other programs start to pick those coaches. And so, you know, you continually have to have backup plans of, well, when I lose Eric Eisness to Northern Illinois, who's the next person stepping in and so forth, going through all of that. And he's chose wisely as he's done this over the years.
Davis bangs inside the 20-yard line. Taken down by Aiden Harrison.
That was blocked well. It was a nice job by McCormick and Morgan wrapping around.
Davis, 25 carries in the match, is his season high so far. Fake to him again. Jaden Yonke had some space inside the 5-yard line, and Gronowski a little short on the throw.
Oh, he knows. He knows this is one. He's got to make this throw. It's just, you know, it's just he's got to. He flips his hips, but he doesn't get them far enough. He's got to get the front foot pointed at his throwing point. Leaves his hips kind of open, and thus his arms a little bit behind as he goes to make the throw. Yeah, you can see he knows. I missed from there.
Yeah, just one catch so far for Jaden Yonke. He and Gronowski have not been able to make that connection. They split Morgan this time, along with Feldkamp and Jaden Yonke to this side. Back inside to Jackson Yonke as he reaches for the goal line. And he is brought down at the 1. Football came loose. Western running it back the other way, but Yonke is down, and he is shy of the goal line.
Well, he dives, I think, from the 5-yard line just about.
Short of the goal line. It's first and goal.
4-yard line. Elbows down. Yeah, the ball is clearly down, though. Great shot. Look at that. Yeah, the elbow's down. Yeah, give me that look, Tom.
He swung the football through there pretty quick. I'm just saying.
Oh, look, the crowd's with you. The crowd's with you.
Because they're right.
Great effort. Hey, that's a throw Gronowski missed earlier, though, that simple throw.
The field was the ball carrier was short of the goal line.
I think I'm right.
Well, he's on his wrist, right?
Elbow.
Here. Elbow's not down yet. Ball's not there though yet.
Close. Down. Yeah.
Well, they've got him. They marked the ball at the 1.
I think closer than that. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But that is 9 catches now for Jackson Yonke. Keeps climbing up that list of receptions and yards.
Great. A lot of really good receivers. Hey, watching that piece on Canyon Bauer, Josh Davis. I mean, many State fans, longtime fans remember what a playmaker he was. You know, he was exciting to watch when he played. I always marveled because when you saw him outside of football, you thought, that's the guy making the plays. But spectacular receiver back in his day.
Davis, the wide receivers coach now for the Jacks, and he is third on the all-time yards list, second on the all-time receptions list, fourth on the touchdown list. Number one on all those lists is Jake Wieneke, and it is not close. Jackson Yankees got 17 career touchdowns. That would have been 18, but Jake Wieneke, how many career touchdown catches?
No idea.
After further review,
Wow.
it was determined that the ball carrier did not touch the ground before entering the end zone. Therefore, we've got a touchdown.
You're so right, Tom Neiman. You've got an eye for it.
18 career touchdowns for Jackson Yankee.
What an effort. I mean, that was from 4-yard line. He started that dive. I'm telling State fans right now, though, that I'm not saying that Griffin Wilde, the Jefferson High School player from Sioux Falls that's committed to SDSU, is going to be Jake Wieneke, but he runs like Jake Wieneke. He eats up ground and has a stride that consumes any defensive back's cushion, and he's going to be a really good one for SDSU.
Dustman knocks another one through. Jacks do finish it with a touchdown this time. Gronowski to Jackson Yankee. Jackson, and it's 27-3. Three now on the Integra scoreboard. Jackson Yankee touchdown grab. Jacks go 11 plays, 67 yards on that drive. All right, Jack Green with the, well, I thought the wind behind him. Wind has changed a touch, but still blowing to the back of the Jacks here in this fourth quarter. Jay Parker backpedals to about his own 7-yard line. Gets the 25 as he spins out. Aiden Dauterman brings him down, and Western Illinois will start a drive with 11:35 to go, down 27-3.
Sports is presented by Dakota Iron. Visit DakotaIronEquipment.com.
Welcome back. Western Illinois will have it at their own 28-yard line. 11:35 to play as Clay Bruno brings him back out. Bruno's gone the entire way so far for Western Illinois. Bunch set over here to the short side field. And now Jalen Reed will get the sweep going back the other way. Colby Herder saw it and made the play for the Jacks.
Yeah, it was great fill there. I mean, really nice job coming up from the safety position and then making the tackle in space. The Jacks defense, as many ups and downs as they've had offensively today, defensively, this second half, they made some great adjustments and really shut down Western Illinois.
Over the middle, good grab made by Jalen Jackson.
Even like that, though, that RPO, I mean, it was a tough throw to catch in a really tight window. Does look like, though, State's subbing some guys, though.
Yeah, Tucker Large comes in. Peyton Schaefer made that last tackle. Nearly a spectacular grab by Brantley. 3 catches so far for Nassim Brantley.
Well, you talked about during the break about early on, it looked like he was going to be a guy they were going to go a lot to, and we haven't seen him in quite some time. He almost has become irrelevant in the game. Maybe it's just they haven't ran many plays, though.
Second and 10. Bruno over the middle this time. Catch by Donald McKinney, his first of the game. And it'll be 3rd and 1 for Western Illinois.
That's tough if he caught that. I'm surprised. Oh, replay that. Looked like the ball came right down to the ground with him.
Under center, Bruno this time, and looks like just enough for the first down on the carry by Choquette.
Well, it's close where they marked it. It did look like he was able to kind of just slip underneath, but the referee just comes in. We're not going to waste time here, fellas. Let's go.
Needed the 48, got the 48. First down. South Coast State trying to run their to 5 games in a row to start this season, holding opponents under 100 yards rushing. And before that run, Western Illinois 25 yards on the ground so far.
Yeah, I would say that streak is not in jeopardy. I mean, you know, with 9 minutes left and the score 27-3, you would expect Western Illinois is going to be trying to throw it a little bit more.
Brantley way out here, wide right. Bruno goes to him, and they said he didn't make the catch while he was slipping down. Jack's keeping that defensive front 4 rotation going, though, with Tervier and Van Marl and Winkleman and Sanders still in there.
I think that's a huge part of their success last year. This year, you're seeing more teams start to do that, to where they keep fresh D linemen rotating every couple plays.
Dallas Beanham defensively for the Jacks.
Oh, Dallas Beanham. He had a touchdown. Yeah.
He's done a nice job holding on the kickoffs today and making some defensive plays. There's Tucker Large, who's in there at linebacker right now for the Jacks.
Yeah, I think it's a nickel package for him, so you bring in another DB at that linebacker spot.
Safety on this side, number 37. 4th and 8. Jacks bringing that 4 again, and Caleb Sanders takes down Bruno.
He just about got there the last play, and this time he was making sure he finished it off. He actually blows right through a double team. He gets leverage inside of it and splits it, takes down Bruno.
You talked about him being small. I mean, 280 pounds, but as a D tackle.
Yeah, you know, there's very few that can play at the size that he's at. Usually the offensive linemen are so big, so strong, they get a hold of you, they push around that 280. He does such a great job with his leverage. His leverage is so good, and he has such a quick burst off the line of scrimmage.
Jacks turn it over on downs. Gronowski back out with Josh Burai behind him this time. And the Leathernecks get through this time. Combination of Cole Watts and Jake Dedivo on the sack for the Leathernecks.
Yeah, and this is a nice job by Gronowski of once Dedivo gets a hold, don't try to fight it. Just protect the football and go down, and you saw him do that there. You know, live to see another play here. Don't make it a bad play even worse.
loss of 8. Isaiah Davis, room again, sideline. Just bumped out inside the 15-yard line. Big afternoon, though, for Isaiah Davis. At 149 yards before that carry.
And that's what we're talking about earlier with Amar Johnson. You get out on that edge. We need you to break that tackle. And Davis does. He blows right by that safety coming down, and then gets a big gain after that.
26 carries, 187 yards on the ground for Davis. Morgan retraces, comes right back up the middle. Davis behind him, and Isaiah Davis with his second touchdown of the day.
Boy, again, I mean, you just hate to constantly be mentioning the same thing, but Mason McCormick, really good block kicking out here. He kicks out that DN, and then Davis finishes the run. Doesn't even give the safety a chance. Nice job, though.
A.J. Kuhns blocking downfield as well. And Davis goes 12 yards for the touchdown. First 2 rushing touchdowns of the season for Davis, and he is at 199 yards today. Timeout. 34-3 South Dakota State on the Ag Tag scoreboard. One week from today, the South Dakota Showdown Coyotes and the Jackrabbits meet Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium. Pre-game at 1:30 and 2 o'clock kick next Saturday on Midco Sports, Midco Sports Plus. South Dakota off as their bye week this week. The Coyotes come here on Saturday. Curtis and I will join you for that one.
Hey, that's a rivalry game where it really doesn't matter what the records are. I mean, it just seems like every time they get together, no matter who's ranked whatever the records are, it's going to be a battle.
And it's gotten good again because the Coyotes have taken the last couple from the Jacks. So after the Davis touchdown run, 34-3 now, South Dakota State. SDSU 445 yards of total offense, 148 for the Leathernecks. Just peeking down on the sideline a little bit. Tucker Kraft, the Jackrabbit tight end, is down on the sideline. Got the boot on his right foot. But he is up walking around. He's been on a scooter after surgery on his lower leg. But he is marking these weeks coming up for a comeback. Saw him down there with Chase Mason, and we talk about Mason every time. South Dakota kid who's gave up a baseball career basically to come here and wants to play quarterback for South Dakota State.
Both of them, though, you look at them and you're thinking, boy, those are NFL-looking guys right there.
Leathernecks do make a change at quarterback. Henry Ogala comes in. Graduate guy. Made the start in the first 2 games of the year for Western Illinois. Spins ahead for about 7 yards here.
I think he brings the one element of the escapability and a threat to run that Bruno doesn't, but watching that first throw as he was drifting back, you're going to be prone to turnovers doing that.
Underneath, grab and go by Jay Parker. First down, and again, Jack's kind of rotating at the linebacker and defensive back spots now, getting some of the 2s and the 3s in there. Sticking really with that almost a 10-man rotation up front.
Yeah, it's hard to say they're playing the backups on the defensive line because everyone plays up there.
Schaefer coming with a little pressure. Ogala gets it out of there. Brantley's got the catch. Durant's trying to track him down, and Brantley stays on his feet. Aiden Dodderman can't get him. Finally get to the goal line. No indication when he came down and the ball came loose, and now they're going to say touchdown.
That had a lot of stuff to it. I mean, I wonder if he was down.
So the grab is good, and he goes 50 yards.
Great effort. Oh, that's a fumble.
And Jay Parker is there for Western Illinois to jump on it for a touchdown.
Yep. Great effort by Brantley, though. I see what number the defensive back was. He goes for the interception, and he goes with his right hand. If you're going to be knocking that down, it's got to be with your left hand. And if you're not able to do that, then you need to be making sure you're getting the tackle. If you're going with your right hand, you need to be picking that thing off and running back for a touchdown.
Touchdown confirmed. Jax got a hand on the attempt, but it goes through anyway. How about that combination of touchdown and point after, and it's 34-10. So we'll see how they score it here. Brantley gets the catch. Stephen Arell got back there, forced the fumble, and then Parker jumped on it. So give Brantley 50 yards on the reception.
Yeah.
So Brantley's over 100 yards receiving on 4 catches, but Parker touchdown.
Down 24. Looks like State's not really expecting an onside kick here. Not sure who we.
Yeah, I'm trying to count how many guys they got on the field right now. Now they get the right number.
Yep. But definitely not a hands team.
The defensive backs in there. Front line, and see what Laramie does here with 5:54 to go.
And one thing, if you are going to onside kick, it's going to be tough to onside kick when you have someone hitting the ball, because usually you want to kick the very top of the football.
Where you see some guys actually lay it down.
Yeah, get those awkward spins.
Ball stays put. Feldkamp from the 8-yard line. Bouncing outside, taken down at about the 22. Eli West on the stop for Western Illinois. Jacks will have it with 5:47 to play. See what kind of personnel changes SDSU will make here. Keith Heidi looks like he's coming in at quarterback. First 5 on the offensive line stay out there. But here is Heidi really for his first action of the season. He's been out with illness through the first 4 games. With Rudy Voss out now, Heidi becomes the two-man QB. John Bell is the third quarterback up. Amar Johnson picking his way ahead for about 3 yards with a flag down.
Well, it's been a long time, but many people forget. You know, Heidi has started games for SDSU. You know, it's a luxury to be able to have a backup quarterback that's had real-time game experience, not just coming in at the end, but actual from first quarter to the end of the game as games on the line type situations.
Came in the marker game here a couple years ago when Jabari Gibbs went down. Second and 7. Amar Johnson on the carry again, and just not a whole lot of momentum going there. Third and 6 coming up. Mike Cardell on the stop for Western Illinois. So now Amar Johnson comes off.
Third down and 7 for the Jacks.
Angel Johnson back in a running back. Jack, a couple other freshmen as well that they're kind of keeping under wraps. Derek Johnson among them has had a couple carries this year, and he goes down on 3rd and long. And Brian Bruce on the tackle there for Western Illinois, and a bust of a series for the Jacks.
You know, I don't know how to take it on Western Illinois. They did an onside kick. They get 3 and out. They're not using. They got 3 timeouts. I mean, you know, it's just we're just going to play out the rest of this game. I mean, their guys are still playing hard, but it doesn't seem like there's a sense of urgency to try to really get right back into the game, though.
4th and 14, Dustman from his own 10, and the wind has switched around a little bit, but Brantley comes up, makes the grab at his 40. He called for a fair catch, apparently.
Yeah.
And they're going to get him for a penalty for taking off and trying to make a return out of it. An adventure with the fair catch signals today.
Yeah, so we fair catch and then we take off and run, and then we've had a catch
and then a fair catch,
then the fair catch signal, and then run or get tackled.
That kickoff recovered by the kicking team.
Yeah.
There is no foul on the play. It's first down, Western Illinois.
So they will just mark it back where Brantley made the fair catch call, right at the 40-yard line. And we've made fun of these guys a little bit this afternoon on the punt return, but you're looking up, you're gauging where the coverage is coming, whether or not you should make signal or not. Not an easy thing.
It's not, but it's why you get put back there, though, too.
I mean, you become a specialist in that area. Ogala back in a QB. Randy Camonier.
It's got to be grounding.
Camonier got in on him that time along with Balloon, and he will drop the flag now.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 7. Loss of down at the spot of the foul. It's second down.
Yeah, there was no receiver in the area there. Gala he tries to avoid contact and then get rid of it so he doesn't take a sack, but still got to throw it where there's someone in the vicinity.
Grabbed by Jay Parker. Well, the rushing yardage streak is going to keep going here for South Dakota State. Western Illinois 19 yards on the ground in this game. So SDSU 5 games in a row now to start the season, holding opponents under 100 yards on the ground.
Western Illinois. This is their first of the half. It'll be 30 seconds in length.
Jack's going to get to 4-1, and again, South Dakota comes here next Saturday in the South Dakota Showdown. 2 o'clock kick. We'll have a monthly pregame for that one. Western Illinois is off next Saturday, and then they stay on the road at Southern Illinois coming up on October 15th. Adam Bach leading that defense again today for the Jackrabbits.
Well, in SDSU, you know, obviously they want to beat USC every time they play them, but they have a tough stretch after that. I mean, they have some tough road games. They go to NDSU. They're at UND, correct?
Correct.
I think at UNI.
Correct. Yeah, that next stretch with South Dakota coming in here, and then at NDSU, at North Dakota are the next 3 for the Jackrabbits.
Yeah.
Indiana State and Illinois State, the 2 remaining home games, other than the Coyotes coming up. All right, Tyler Feldkamp back to receive. Wind at his back. Bilkey. Knuckleball. It's going to get out of bounds, though. Inside the 35-yard line. 2.5 to go. Defensive line doing its job. There's Quentin Hicks, Caden Johnson on that sideline. Keaton Heidi will bring him back out again, and the starting offensive line stays out there, and a lot of that is because there's not a lot of backups right now.
Yeah, no, that's always the scary part for any team. Any team, you feel like you have skilled guys that can always back up, but offensive line is where usually you're thin.
Carry for Josh Burai. Here's Tucker Kraft. Again, he played 5 minutes and 30 seconds of the season before being hurt in that game at Iowa. But working his way back again. He was on the scooter for a couple of weeks. Now he's got the boot on. Get him back. Jack's still getting a few defensive players back as well. A couple of offensive linemen, as we said, working their way back from injury. Landon Wolf, the receiver for the Jacks as well, might be back here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and as we said, they don't have a bye until that last regular season week, and then if they're fortunate enough to get one of those top 8 spots, you get another bye. It almost works against you because you really go 3 weeks almost without playing a game. You know, there's good time off and there's difficult time off, and it's just how you use it, how much you rest the body but still stay productive.
Burai straight ahead again, running strong. Kid from Brookings High School by way of Stewartville, Minnesota.
Yeah, and he went the complete opposite way this play was supposed to be blocked. He just saw an opening.
Officials timeout for a defensive injury.
Quite sure the number there on the Western Illinois player down, but you know, you were talking earlier in the game about Isaiah Davis, obviously the #1 back, and then having a #2 punch in that combination when Davis goes out. Is it okay to have guys like Angel Johnson and Amar Johnson, who are not necessarily between the tackles guys, but give you a little different look?
the thing I thought where Isaiah Davis first really made his name was Pierre Strong would go out, and you felt like Davis came in, and boy, you don't really take much steps backwards at all, because he could do it all in between the tackles, outside, inside. Such a powerful runner. It's not the same right now, and so Coach Lujan, Coach Stigmeyer, they've got to find an identity of when these guys come in.
The reason for stopping the clock. Western Illinois has elected not to take a timeout. Therefore, clock operator, please set the game clock to 45 seconds, please. 45 seconds. It'll start on my whistle.
Boy, that's wanting to get out of here there. But you got to coach to the players you have. So if they can't do the same things, and they can't do the same things as Isaiah Davis, then you have to change your play calling a little bit. When they come in, it's got to be plays that are out on the edge, getting them in space, screens, different things like that. And I think you'll see a little more of that, because they're not as stout running in between the tackles as Davis is.
Aiden Harrison, by the way, was the injured leatherneck, goes off. And again, we got hockey coming up tonight from Grand Forks exhibition game with Manitoba. The Bisons taking on UND. And hit that at 5:30 with the pregame. And UND hockey coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. Jacks get out of here with a 34-10 win, and SDSU moves to 2-0 in Missouri Valley Conference play. Western Illinois now 0-5 on this season and 0-2 in the conference. Again, Western off for a week, and then at Southern Illinois. And SDSU will prepare this week for the South Dakota Showdown. The Coyotes come here on Saturday, and we'll have that game at 2 o'clock here on Midco Sports.
Not only coming in for a rivalry game, but coming in off a tough loss. I mean, they were leading NDSU at halftime, and they had to go into the bye week with that sour taste of a loss and of a game that what could have been. And so they're going to come in, one, against their biggest rival, but two, also a chance to still, hey, we've got to stop the bleeding. We've got to get some wins, and what a better way to do it than against SDSU.
It'll be good next Saturday with the Jacks and the Coyotes. 34-10 here, South Dakota State over Western Illinois. Big day for Isaiah Davis and Jackson Yankee, and we will be back with the final numbers after this. Jackrabbits beat Western Illinois 34-10, and South Dakota State now off to a 2-0 start in Missouri Valley Conference play. We got kind of into the middle of the game there, Curtis, and it kind of blad a little bit for a stretch because South Dakota State was moving the ball. Western was too, but just not a lot of points on the board, and the Jackrabbits kind of figured out some things again in that fourth quarter.
Well, that third quarter, I think the first couple drives, they might have had more penalties than plays,
yeah.
But it extended the amount of time SDSU had the ball and the amount of plays that they ran there for a while. Western Illinois came out through a long pass, got picked off, and SDSU just continued to control the time of possession. Finally, in the fourth quarter, took over and put the game away. All
right, let's check the second half highlights presented by Avera. And again, it was 17-3 South State at halftime. Here's the one play on in the second half by Western Illinois, and that was the Dyshon Gales interception. Jacks get a field goal after they take it back down the field from Hunter Dustman. Only scoring in the third quarter was 20-3. And then fourth quarter here, Jackson Yankee had a big game. 9 catches, 94 yards. He jumps into 6th all-time in career yards, 7th in catches here at SDSU. And then Isaiah Davis, 12-yard touchdown run, 27 carries, 199 yards for Davis. And it was 34-3. And then here's the Brantley catch. Nassim Brantley took it 50 yards. It's tracked down and fumbled there, but Parker jumps on it for Western for their lone touchdown of the game. And 34-10 is the final, and the final numbers presented by CU Mortgage Direct. The Jacks end up with 458 total yards, and again, they had the football for a lot of the football game.
In college football now, time of possession usually isn't indicative of the team that's dominating. Today it was. Today State had the ball a lot, and it was few plays for Western Illinois.
Jacks didn't have a penalty in the first half. They had 5 really on that one drive here in the second half. And John Stiegelmeier is joining us down on the field. And Stig,
hey,
you got us there. Congrats,
yeah,
Coach, on another good win. Just
Thank you.
Took care of business here this afternoon. You rolled up a lot of offense. It kind of faltered it a few times during the game, but how'd you get it done this afternoon?
Well, we didn't play our best, but people are going to have days off. I have days off, off days, and I'm proud of our team. I think we made plays when we needed to, and disappointed in the defense at the end there, but we got the win. And in the Missouri Valley, you got to rejoice in that.
How much focus did you have on getting Isaiah Davis going today?
Well, he's such a good player, and we thought we could run the ball, and he's the guy. And Amar's a little beat up, so he got a few more carries than normal, and he showed what kind of player he is. So happy for him to get rolling.
Defensively, just a quick thought on that. Again, the run defense was outstanding. Just a quick thought on defensively this afternoon.
I thought we did well defensively. I thought their plan was to get the ball out quick and run the edges. And early in the game we gave up the edge a couple times. We got cracked, but we got that corrected at halftime. And we've got a good defense. We play a lot of guys, and I'm happy with what they're doing.
All right, here's to a good week. We'll see you next Saturday against the Coyotes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tom.
All right, appreciate it, John Stiegelmeier. And, Coach never overplays anything. He always plays it pretty close, but he's got to be pretty happy with just the way it came out. The late touchdown by Western Illinois, but defensively the Jacks really good again.
Yeah, and as he talks about some guys have an off day, that's what's great about team sports is some guys have an off day, but other guys have a great day. And Isaiah Davis had a great day. I thought the offensive line was pretty good, especially with their run blocking, and then the defense was really good. The second half, they had the one long touchdown at the end, but they really shut down Western Illinois.
All right, Jacks keep it rolling. Now 4-1 on the season, 2-0 in Valley play. And again, the Coyotes come to Brookings next Saturday for the showdown here with South Dakota State. Big day for Isaiah Davis and the ground game for the Jacks. 9 more catches for Jackson Donkey. 34-10 is the final. Hockey coming up from Grand Forks tonight here on Midco Sports. 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock from Grand Forks. And we will see you here next Saturday with the Jacks and the Coyotes.